25 years. Pretty nice. That's from the squadron.
Thank you all.
I have the floor?
Yep. I wish I'd known that. I'm prepared. Now, I didn't want to give a speech or nothing like that, but Colonel Wren said I really should say something. And he said, by the way, Rich, the rule of thumb is 1 minute for every year of service. So it's going to take a while. What I'd like to do first is recognize some guests here. My father, Charles Johnson, and my brother, David Johnson, flew up from Atlanta to be here. Thank you both very much. It makes this day that much more special. I have some friends from Area B, Donna Baker, Bob Andrews, former Area Report guy with me, and Rob Jameson, Area Report guys. Thank you guys for coming out on this day as well. Tammy, thank you for coming. It means a lot to see you. I'm happy, very happy to see the Port Dogs. I'm extremely happy to see the Port Dogs. Thank you guys for coming out. Before I get started, is there a show of hands? Is there, if you are 25 years old or less, raise your hand. Some people are not entirely truthful. A little bit about my career. In 25 years, you get a chance to do a lot of things. And I started out as a maintenance officer. I was working on 11s. I did big aircraft at the Guard Bureau, and finally ended up here at Wright-Patterson working Special Operations Forces. And I decided to part ways with the Air Force, and I came into the Reserve, and I've spent the last about 14 years in the Reserve. And I got to say that had I known how much fun the Reserve was, I would have gotten off active duty a lot sooner. And while I was at Special Ops, I got hung up with some of the special operators, and I participated in some covert ops with even some of the people here in this very room. And I talked to the National Security Agency, and the best they would let me do is declassify the names. So I can't tell you the details about these things, but I'm going to just give you some of the names, and you can just, for what it's worth. I participated in Operation Pallet Liberator. I was in part of Operation Hot Griddle, Operation Enduring Grin, Operation Four-Legged Donkey, Operation, this is probably my very favorite one, Operation Deny Satisfaction 1 and Deny Satisfaction 2. And last but not least, Operation Clown Biscuit. If you want to speak with me afterwards about some of these, well, maybe I'll share with you, but maybe not. But after 25 years, you learn a few things. You just can't help yourself. And so I thought I'd share with the squadron, given this opportunity, a few of the things I learned. And one of the things I learned is to dream big dreams. Every great undertaking starts out with a vision. And so I challenge you all, dream big dreams, even on a personal front, but as a squadron. You have to know where you're going. You have to be able to see where you're going. You have to visualize it in order to accomplish great things. The second thing is, don't let anyone else impose their limitations on you. And there are plenty of people, when you try to do something, they'll be happy to tell you why you can't do it. They'll tell you 10 different ways you can't do it, or you shouldn't do it, or you can't listen to that. If you know in your heart and you have the vision, you cannot let others put their limitations on you, because their limitations are not yours. You should know that about yourself. You have to look inside yourself. The third thing is that life is nonlinear. As much as we would like things to go step by step by step, and we were going to go up the chain, or we're going to go to a particular exercise, we'd like it to be just like we always plan it, 1, 2, 3. Well, life's not that way. Stuff happens. You know, you have family crises come up, you have jobs in your civilian world come up, you have all kind of unexpected things that can happen to you. And that's where having the vision is key. Because just like when you're using your GPS and you miss the turn, it recalculates. And that's what you've got to be ready to do. You've got to be ready to know that you've missed the exit and recalculate. And if you don't know where it was you were going, you won't ever get there. And finally, when doing these things, part of the things that happens in life is we make mistakes. And everybody makes mistakes. Everybody in this room, everybody's ever lived has made mistakes. We have regrets. We've used poor judgment, things of that nature. The character that you have and what makes you who you are is not in the fact that you make mistakes, but it's how you respond to the mistakes you've made. Do you learn from it? Do you resolve not to do it again? Do you lay down on the ground when you've been knocked down, or do you get back up again? It's the character that you build is in the response you have to the mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And the corollary of that is, don't be afraid to ask for help. You don't have to do things by yourself. I know we're proud people. We like to be independent. We like to think that we don't need anybody, but we do. We absolutely do need people. And that leads me to my final comment along this line is I versus we. I've been in the Air Force 25 years. I cannot launch an aircraft. I cannot load a pallet. I can't fix a diesel. I can't drive a forklift. I can't do log plans. But we can. Everybody in this room can make that happen. No one of us can do everything. So you have to cultivate a squadron perspective. And this, I've had many talks with the NCOs in here about that. You've got to start thinking about collateral damage. You've got to start thinking about what the needs of the one, when you treat one person a certain way, what that does to the majority. You have to have a squadron perspective. You will be stronger if you can have a team. And you're strongest when you treat your people right and you give them respect. So, in summary, my challenge to the men and women of the LRS is believe in yourselves. Absolutely believe in yourselves. Be fearless. Don't let anyone tell you what you need to do. And conquer this ORI. That's my challenge to you. Conquer this ORI. Go for the outstanding. Don't settle. You can do it. Dream the big dream. So, men and women of the LRS, it's been my honor, my privilege to have served with you, and I salute you all. And finally, I want to say thanks to Crystal and Sergeant Fisher and anyone else who had a hand in setting up this fine ceremony. Thank you all very much.
Please remain standing for the departure of the official party and the playing of the Air Force song.
You know this thing, Rich?
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the ceremony. Please join Colonel Johnson for refreshments and congratulate him on the occasion of his retirement. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.